Good evening, dear friends. Agut Vach, Shavua Tov, wishing you all a wonderful week ahead as we conclude this wonderful Shabbos. And we are right now going to be doing the Daily Mitzvah for 2 days. For yesterday, which was Friday, and today, Shabbos. And we're going to be doing 2 mitzvahs. Let's begin with yesterday. Yesterday, Friday, we concluded the mitzvah that we've been spending quite a few days on, about a week, right? Which is the mitzvah for the Jewish people to sanctify the month, Kiddush HaChodesh. Sanctify Jewish time, month by month, and this was done, ideally, in temple times, in the times of the Sanhedrin, the time that there was a Supreme Court, through eyewitness testimony. The Jewish people would come, give testimony that they've seen the rebirth of the new moon, and with their testimony, the Jewish people would sanctify time, sanctify the new months, establishing the Jewish calendar, establishing the future holidays, and making time, establishing time. Today we can't do it the ideal way, but we follow the calendar that our sages have created, that the Sanhedrin has created, and in this way we still follow their sanctification of time, and we just follow their schedule. So that mitzvah we concluded yesterday. And yesterday we introduced a brand new mitzvah and a brand new theme as we continue through our journey through all the mitzvahs, through all the themes of Jewish tradition. And the next theme that comes up, that the Rambam brings up, and just to remind you, we are right now in the book of the Rambam called Zmanim, which means the book of time. We're going through basically the Jewish calendar and all mitzvahs that pertain to different times and seasons of the Jewish calendar that the Jewish people celebrate or commemorate. And the next theme is fast days. We Jews have fast days. We have Tisha B'Av, we have Yom Kippur, we have the 17th of Tammuz, we have the fast of Esther, and a few more. And here's a mitzvah that touches upon, that ties into the theme of fast days, although, interestingly, when we read this mitzvah, you are going to see that it's actually something which we're not going to recognize this mitzvah. This is a mitzvah that we don't do anymore, for whatever reason. We're not going to get into that conversation right now, but we don't do it right now, the Jewish diaspora, this component of the mitzvah that ties into fast days. But this is the biblical mitzvah. Here we go. New mitzvah that we introduced yesterday, and it's today's mitzvah as well. So it's the mitzvah for yesterday and for today. The mitzvah, that there's a positive mitzvah, to blow trumpets, toot the horn, in the Holy Temple, whenever in the Holy Temple they are bringing a specialty offering, a specialty sacrifice, which means if it's the regular day-to-day carbon, the regular day-to-day offering, then you don't blow trumpets. But if it's a holiday, a Yom Tov, or there's a special occasion, then part of the ceremony of bringing this carbon and bringing this offering was to blow trumpets. This is what the Torah says, "Uv'yom simchaschem, uv'moyadechem, uv'rosh chadshechem, u'skatem b'chatzos." On the day of your joy, and on the day of your festivals, and on Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the month, which we're going to be celebrating this week, you shall blow trumpets. And the Talmud clearly says that this is a mitzvah, that the idea of blowing trumpets is one of the 613 commandments of the Torah. But here is the detail of the mitzvah that ties into fast days. Part of this biblical mitzvah, says the Rambam, is we should also blow the trumpets in a time of tragedy, in a time of tension, in a time when the Jewish people are facing a calamity, a danger, whatever it is. When the Jewish people are facing a community, not an individual, when the Jewish community is facing a calamity, whatever, any type of danger, whether it's an epidemic, whether it's a threat from our enemies, etc., there's a mitzvah to cry out to Hashem, and even to establish fast days. And once again, we don't really do that anymore these days. You could look up all the laws in the Rambam in detail to understand why. But part of the way that if and when you establish a specialty fast day to daven to Hashem, when the Jewish people, when the Jewish community is in a time of need, there's a mitzvah to blow the trumpets as part of this tradition of making a fast day, and it's a way to arouse the Jewish people to cry out to Hashem, as the pasuk says, "V'chisavoyim milchama ba'artzachem." If a war comes to your land, you shall all daven to Hashem. You shall blow trumpets as part of that. And dear friends, that is the daily mitzvah for today, for Shabbos. See you all very, very soon for our next installment of the daily mitzvah. We're moving on to some new themes coming up. So have a wonderful week. We'll see you all soon.